It's been 5 years since I came to the UK and I took the Life in the UK test. So what is the Life in the UK test? How do you book it and how to pass it? Mayong buntag and good morning everyone. So as I have said in the intro, today we're going to discuss about Life in the UK. So Life in the UK is a computer-based test consisting of 24 questions, and this is a requirement for those who are sorting out their indefinite leave to remain application and for those who wants to become a British citizen. Out of 24 questions, you are required to get at least 75% correct answers, or that is 18 out of 24 correct answers to get a passing mark. So how do we book the test? In order to book the test, you need to go to the website gov.uk, which is the only official government website where you can apply or book this Life in the UK test. Now the test costs £50 and you need to book it at least 3 days in advance. So the website says that there are around 30 testing centers all over the UK, and based on my experience and of course with this pandemic going on, it was actually hard for me to find a slot to my convenience. So I would advise that as soon as you're ready, book the slot straight away or book the test straight away, because it's easier to cancel the appointment or the test that you have booked rather than actually finding an earlier slot which would allocate your time for the application, or which would be enough for the time of your application. So I would suggest that you book it straight away once you're ready, or even so if you just want to book it in advance and then review beforehand so that you have a deadline, then go for it. There are some people who actually like a challenge, and that's what I did. So I booked the test beforehand and just reviewed weeks and days before that. So you can also do that if you want, or you can just book it once you've actually reviewed and you're ready. But again, as I said, the slots are harder to find nowadays because of the pandemic. Who knows, it might change next year though. Okay, so now I will show you how to book the test using your phone. So this is the gov.uk website, and I've already searched for Life in the UK, but you can just simply type in gov.uk and Life in the UK test. So it will give you the link to the same site or part of the website. So as you can see, those are the details that I've shared to you earlier. How the test costs, which is how much the test costs, which is £50, and there you have it. So there's a link that says start now. So if you click on start now, it will arrive to this website and you just simply start your booking. And you can first register if you don't have an account. If you already do, you just simply log in, and then it would actually be easy. So let's pause it first and let me log in using my account. So once you're logged in, you will see this screen wherein you can just make a booking, and you can also see your previous result. So if you click on make a booking, so that's it. You just fill in those questions, answer those questions, and then you are going to choose the date that you prefer to book the test, or the date that you prefer to take the test, and that's it. Let's just hope for the best and you pass the test. But how will you pass the test? Alright guys, so before we proceed to the part of the video which I think you are looking forward to the most, I would just like to say that this part of the video is just from my insights or based on my opinion and my experience. And the second thing is, I am not purely taking credit of the links that I'm going to be sharing you, because I myself passed a test through the help of another YouTuber. His name is Jake UKRN, and I want to give credits to him because of his links. I also feel like I passed a test. So I'm gonna put his links down here, and also his video about his share or his insights about life in the UK. Right, so first of all guys, the gov.uk website will share a book, and also if you look into Google or if you find on your Safari or your browsers and type in Life in the UK test study books, you will be given a lot of books like this, and this. So basically, I feel like the content of these books are mostly the same, but I would suggest that you buy the latest one, right? So in my case, I did buy a book, and this is the book that I bought. So I first bought this 2020 edition Life in the UK handbook just in Amazon, and this Life in the UK practice questions. Is that right? Yeah, practice questions just in Amazon as well. So now I know you would say that, is it actually necessary to buy the book? I would say no, it's not necessary. It just so happens that during my time, or during the time that I was thinking of taking this test, I did not have enough motivation, and I felt like reviewing using my mobile or my phone just really distracted me and just took me away from my focus on passing the test. So I thought I need a book so that I would really have that time wherein I would just separate myself, read in the corner, and just go through life in the UK or the history of the UK in order to pass the test. But I do have friends and I do have colleagues who didn't buy a book. They found it unnecessary to buy these books and they also passed. So it really is up to you guys. So for this handbook, it cost me £8.53. For this practice questions, it's worth £5.64. So again guys, it's up to you how you study and how you know yourself on what you want to do. If you want to buy a book, by all means do so. And again, there are other covers of this book, especially another cover which was shared by Jake again in his channel. I'm not sure if this is alright, but Jake did suggest just borrowing the book from the library, so maybe that would be helpful. The thing is, right now though, our libraries are closed, especially of the UK being on different tier levels. In fairness to this, although it took away a lot of my time reading the book, I did learn a lot of things about the history of the UK, so this is actually a good read. Now, the other thing is, once you have the book, you don't have to memorize all the details. You might be surprised that there are years in the book and there are specific names that you would think if the CBT or the computer-based test is actually an identification type of test, you would need to memorize these names. But really, just familiarize it. There are questions that are quite easy. You don't need to memorize, like when is April Fool's Day, some things like that. But there are some details that you do need to familiarize. Now, the next thing is, I've mentioned that there were links that I used to practice. So there are two links that Jake shared himself. One is timed and the other link is not timed. You practice the one with the timer and you also practice the one without the timer. Both of the links are really useful, so I suggest that you click on them. In fact, when I clicked on these links, some of them have mentioned or have shared that they did not need the books and they were actually able to pass just by practicing through the links. So go for it and check on the links. I'm gonna put it down here below, and also credits to JQKRN for sharing them. Now, I won't dwell on the questions, guys, that would appear on the exam because I don't think that's allowed and they do it randomly. Again, it is a set of 24 questions and you have to get 75% or at least 75% correct answers in order to pass the test. You are given 45 minutes to take the test, so take your time and review. I'm going to share to you now my experience in taking this live in the UK test. First of all, guys, before you go to the testing center, make sure you have everything that is required of you. The most important thing that you need to bring is an ID that you use to register. If it's a BRP or a passport, you need to bring that exact ID that you use to register because they will look for it. But anyways, before you go to the testing center, you would be given a list or a reminder on what are the things to bring. Don't bring a lot of things though, because again, same as the other tests, the computer-based test, CBT from NMC, you are not allowed to bring anything inside. So you will be given a locker wherein you will leave your stuff, your coat, your jacket, and your bag, and you will just be given keys to this locker. And the next thing that I would say as well, before you go there, make sure that you don't wear a lot of accessories because they don't want that too. They would ask you to take off your watch. What else? If you have bracelets, necklace, they ask me to take it off. Just bring small things or the things that you really need. During the day when I went to the exam, the moment you go in, of course, you have to go through the checks. They check your temperature, they ask you to clean your hands with the alcohol gel first. And then once you're in, you are not allowed to use your mobile or your phones. So if you want to message people saying that you're there, please do let them know before you actually go in, because in my experience, somebody who was supposed to take the test as well wanted to send a message first, but then the employee there did not allow her. So do send messages already before you go to the test. And also, once you're in, you'll be asked to turn your phone off in front of the employee that is there. I don't know what they're called, but they asked us to turn it off in front of them, or if it's off already, to show them that it's actually turned off. Now, you would just have to wait, and then afterwards, they will call you in. They will check your identity, your details. Make sure that 2 days prior going to the testing center, you have checked that all your details are correct and matches with the ID that you have used to register. For example, if your surname is the same as a surname in your ID, if the date of birth is the same, just make sure that all these details about you are correct and exactly the same from the ID that you used to register. Once you're called in, they check your identity again through the card or the ID that you have brought. They would ask you for that, and then they will scan you all over. After the identity checks, you would be asked to go to another room again, wherein they will check your date of birth again and a few other questions, and then it's time to take the test. Now, when you take the test, you are given 45 minutes to finish the whole test. I would suggest that you don't rush it, guys. It might be easy once you have really prepared and you feel like you are confident enough that you're going to pass. The moment you take the test, you might rush through it and you'd be surprised that you're already finished before 45 minutes. The usual tip that people will tell us is take your time. Take your time, review, check. You can actually flag questions where the answers or the choices are a bit confusing and you're not sure of the answer, and you can just go back to it and check again. Make sure though that while you are taking the test, you don't click on finish exam, because there's an option there. So guys, before you go and take the test, the last person who would do an identity check on you will give you instructions. So do listen to them. Make sure that you hear their instructions very well. If you have questions, do ask them before you take the test. So follow instructions, guys. Don't rush. Review. Check again. If you're not sure, flag it first and then just go back to it and then finish the exam. So how will you know that you've passed the exam? Before, they give you a hard copy, a paper, but then now they just give you a unique ID, and you would find out straight away that you've passed a few minutes after getting out of the test center. So you just have to log in on the same website where you registered. They will tell you whether you have passed or you have failed. Okay guys, so I hope you've gained a few things from this video, and if you like this video, hit thumbs up, comment down below if you want to tell me something, say anything, or suggest anything.